Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. And if you're new, welcome. My name is Adelina and I make videos about living in this tiny house on wheels and living a more intentional life. And on Wednesdays, usually try and share a yummy plant-based vegan recipe. It's not as hot as it was the last time I did a video, but it's still pretty warm out. And so this is my continuing series of recipes, things that you can make that don't require turning on your oven or at least don't heat up your house. And today we're making a dessert and it is my favorite chocolate pudding, and it uses kind of a secret ingredient, a very unusual ingredient, but don't knock this until you try it because it's delicious, it's really easy to make, and nobody will know what's in it, and it's healthier than a traditional chocolate pudding. Here are the ingredients for this really super and healthy chocolate pudding. Oat milk. You could use almond milk, cashew milk, even coconut milk if you want in this, but I like oat milk. Some cocoa powder or cacao powder if you wanted, though I think the cocoa powder is a little less bitter. Maple syrup, Canadian Gold. For those of you, those OG viewers, you know how much I love my Canadian maple syrup. Some vanilla extract, a little bit of salt, and then 2 ripe avocados. I've got an extra one here just in case these ones are a little overripe. You know how avocados are. They're not ripe for days, and then you have 15 minutes, and then when they're ripe, and then after that they're overripe. And then you need a food processor or a blender. I have a great big food processor that I'm about to donate because I never use it. I'm not going to pull it out and then have to clean that sucker. So I'm going to use my Vitamix. And then some measuring spoons and cups. And that's about it. So let's get making this. So as always, the full recipe will be in the description down below. So avocados are the secret ingredient. I have 2 that I think are perfectly ripe. There's actually a trick that I want to try to getting the pit out. Oh, I don't think I did a very good job of cutting this. So, that's like the Holy Grail. Lots of nice green, beautiful avocado and not a bunch of brown. That's awesome. So the trick that I saw is that you just sort of press and pop this out. I don't know if this will work. If it'll just make a great big mess. Oh, look at that. Yeah, kind of made a mess. Okay, just have to do it the old school way. I really wanted that to work. Oh well. I feel very fortunate, like I should buy a lottery ticket or something today. All right, so I have those pits out, and then what I'm gonna do is just scoop out the flesh into the cup of my blender or into the bowl of your food processor. I'm not gonna pull mine out. I just found that I never use that thing, and I've been holding on to it. I brought it from my old house. It's been sitting in the cupboard in the kitchen here for the 3 years that I've been here. And I've never pulled it out. And you know why I've never pulled it out? Because I don't like cleaning it. It's a hassle to clean. I do have a little mini one that I bought that I use sometimes if I am just mashing up some chickpeas to make chickpea salad sandwiches or something like that. That one I'll keep because that one is useful. But this big one, I am going to donate. I'll offer it to one of my kids if they want it. If not, I will just donate it. So I would love to know where you guys are right now. For my viewers in Australia, it's your winter time, so you probably don't have the heat issues that we have. Oh, man, the little top part, the little bit, brown bit at the top fell in it. There you are, you son of a bitch, as my dad used to say. Now the avocados really make this pudding creamy and delicious. And you don't taste them. I promise you don't taste them. And because we're making a chocolate pudding, you don't notice that there's green stuff in there. So you get good healthy fats. And that's always a good thing. Okay, so for the rest of the ingredients, super simple. I'm gonna put in a 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. And now a 1/4 cup of maple syrup, my favorite thing. No, that's gonna take too long. Let's do this. Okay. And now a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Whoops, or a little bit more, apparently. And then 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. Now you need that little bit of salt to really bring out the sweetness. I don't know what kind of magical chemistry that is, but it's just a fact. You need a little bit of salt in everything sweet that you're making in order to balance the flavors. And now a 1/2 cup of a non-dairy milk. I really like oat milk in this because it's creamy, it's really creamy, but also you could use full fat coconut milk as well. It will impart a slightly coconut flavor, but that's not a bad thing in a pudding. So if that's what you have, then that's what you should put in. And that, my friends, are all the ingredients. Like I say, it can't get much simpler than that. Now, because I'm using a blender, I'm gonna have to be extra patient about getting this all blended up because we really, 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 really want this smooth. So I'm gonna be scraping down the sides of this sucker and making sure that it's all blended very well. Because what you don't want, especially if people don't know that there's avocado in this, what you don't want is them biting a piece of avocado. Not that avocados are gross, it's just that they won't expect that and then they'll be grossed out. So my advice is to make sure you're blending this super well. So let's do that. I'm gonna add a little bit more milk because it's quite thick and I want this to blend properly. So play around with that. If I was using a food processor, it would be a little bit easier to blend. So I may have to add a little bit extra. So just be patient, mix it up, give it a taste. So good. I'm gonna add a little bit more maple syrup. And a little bit more. This is the rest of this oat milk. So I'm guessing that I've probably added a full cup. So in the recipe down below, I will put 1/2 to a full cup. It really depends on the machine that you're using. Awesome. Now I need a container to put this in. Do you know what I really wish I had done? I really wish I had bought some coconut whipped cream. So I may go get some before I show you what it looks like and we do a taste test. I'm just going to put it in here. Now you can, like I say, you can add more milk to make it thinner if you like a thinner pudding. I've blended this quite a bit so there's a lot of air in here so it's quite fluffy. If you were making it in your food processor, I don't think it would be this fluffy because you wouldn't be adding as much air in there. So it might be a little bit runnier maybe. That's really good. You would never guess that there is avocados in there at all. It just gives it that wonderful mouthfeel because of the fat in the avocado and how thick and rich they are. So I'm gonna be right back because I'm gonna run to the store and get some coconut whipped cream. I'm back. Now, I haven't eaten dinner. Did you know today is International Hot Dog Day? So happy International Hot Dog Day to you guys. And I am making hot dogs. I picked up some buns. I am using the Eve's hot dogs. But I really like the Smart Life, Light Life, I think it is. I'm gonna do a review on hot dogs, I think, one of these days. Anyways, I picked up this cocoa whip. It is coconut based. And what we're gonna do is build 2 little parfaits. And I'm gonna taste them, but then I'm gonna have dinner first, just because. So the first thing I'm gonna do, see, here's our pudding. And now that I've let it sit for a bit, some of that air has come out, so it's a little bit creamier. So I'm gonna put a little bit on the bottom of each cup. So the next time you guys have a craving for, oh, this isn't fully thawed yet, but that's okay. It'll just make things cooler in there. Next time you guys have a craving for chocolate pudding, you know how to, and you have some avocados in the house, now you know what to do with them. This is still a little frozen. That's okay. You can also get it in the cans, you know, like you get the whipped cream. This will be as pretty as it would be if this was thawed out, but I'm sure you guys don't care. I'll just finish the one, and then just a little bit more on top. There we go. There is my avocado chocolate pudding, just chocolate pudding that I've made into a parfait. So good. And it's just chocolate pudding. I promise you, you do not taste any avocado in there. You can adjust how much. I should stop eating because I haven't had my dinner yet, but you can just how sweet it is by how much maple syrup you put in there. Also how thin or thick it is by how much plant-based milk you put in there. Ultimately, I put in, Ultimately, I put in about a cup of the oat milk, and that was because in the Vitamix, it's a little harder to get it to blend because it's tall. If you were using, a food processor, you probably wouldn't need as much, but play around with it because that's what these recipes are. They're just a starting point for you to adjust. I bet you this would be really good if you put a tablespoon or 2 of peanut butter in it and have it a chocolate peanut butter pudding. That would be delicious. If you put some maybe liqueur in there, that would be good too. For Christmas, I might try making it and use the Bailey's almond base Irish cream liqueur in there. I bet you that would be really good. I've only ever made it with just plain or in a parfait. So I hope you guys try it. Let me know if you do. I would love to know what you add in it. I'd love to know what you think. I'd love to know if you feed this to somebody who's not plant-based, who doesn't know there's avocados in there, such as your kids maybe, and see what they think of this recipe without telling them that there's avocados in there, because it just is a game changer. It's thick, it's rich, it's chocolatey, it's delicious. It's full of healthy fats from the avocados. So I consider that a healthy chocolate pudding. I hope you try it. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying safe and cool if you're someplace where it is summer and you're having a heat wave. I love you guys. Remember, in a world where you can be anything, be kind. And I will see you next time. I can't stop eating this.
Sophie, what was that all about? Yeah.